Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Lex's Budget Bunker Build. So thank you for joining me here on my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a bit of the brickwork for the sidewalls, and and I'll also show you an interesting development down in the bunker. Presents some challenges and I guess opportunities depending how you want to look at it. So yeah, we'll see you downstairs. Yeah guys, so this is the interesting development I was telling you about. I think I must have struck an underground stream with my excavations, because this water's just been running constantly for several days now. Now there's been a lot of rain over the last few days, so yeah, there's a possibility this is just soaking down through the 5 meters of clay. I'm hoping it'll stop, but yeah. So I was feeling pretty pleased with myself because you know, not at Dale's expense, but you know, I'd seen how much water was coming through Dale's bunker and the challenges that presented, and I was thinking to myself, well, I'm glad I don't have that sort of issue. It's if I get a bit down here, I can't even hear myself think. I'd get a bit down here when it rained, but it wouldn't be like this. And I was thinking, gosh, I'm glad I don't have to deal with that issue, and now I'm dealing with that issue. So not sure where it's exactly where it's coming in. In theory, that the water should actually should be coming out the bottom here, because there's because going to have to contend with the pump going on and off. The shut that up a minute. Yeah, so there's drainage material under there, and I thought it would have just poured out the bottom, and you can see a little bit dripping out the bottom, but it's obviously backing up and coming out through that pipe, which is not ideal, because that pipe is supposed to be carrying services like an internet cable and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to address that, but before I do that, I'm going to actually have to get this first section of wall finished and the roof on. And then excavate the next section of tunnel, and then what I'll do is in the base of that I'll run a pipe down. I think what I'll do is I'll drill a pipe down, drill a hole, a shaft down to here at an angle, and sort of make a drain like that. So so that's the plan. Now I did come down during the week and actually as you can see, I actually put some bricks in. And I did film it, well, put it this way, I thought I'd filmed it, but unfortunately I messed up with the camera. And yeah, when I was filming, I must have hit the record button or something, and then of course turned it off when I thought I was turning it on, and didn't pay attention. So anyway, long story short, I lost that footage. So but never mind, it was just pretty boring, to be honest, just me struggling those bricks in. So today I want to get another layer or two of bricks in, hopefully get some rebar welded in there as well, and fill them up with concrete. So we'll see how we go, guys, and we're going to probably have this constant racket of this pump going thanks to this little in-house stream. But I guess it, you know, there might be some opportunities there. I have an underground swimming pool. We'll see. We'll do something with it. Anyway, onwards. guys, got those in. As tempting as it is to try and do more in this area, I think I'm going to let that that no nails set fully before I start mucking around there and risk disturbing it. So the next step will be to bring the MIG welder down here and weld in some rebar. It's going to tie these 3 sets together and poke out the ends, which will then weld onto the next section of wall. So the plan is actually, initially I was going to do every layer, but it's overkill. I'm going to do every second layer of bricks is going to have a double set of rebar. So I was going to get 16mm rebar suggested by Dale. Our local supply yards don't do that. I'd actually have to go to a specialist steel supplier, and the cost of delivery is almost as much as the cost of steel. So I'd be buying about $200 worth of rebar, and it costs about $180 to get it delivered. And they're 6 metre lengths, so they're more than I can fit in my van. Now I had since then I have actually been in contact with the yard, and they said they would be willing for me to cut it, or they might even be able to cut it for me. But it's quite a way out, and I've got plenty of this high tensile 12mm, and did a bit of research. And 2 sections of 12mm has a, understandably a larger cross section than 1 section of 16mm. So in most cases, this is actually going to be stronger. So I'm just going to double it all up. So it'll be two bits coming out there. So every second brick will have 2 sets of high tensile rebar joining it together. That should be more than enough. And I'm going to backfill behind the bricks with concrete too, so they'll stop any movement there. Chuck some concrete down there, vibrate it in nice and tight, and just do that all the way up, so that'll be solid as. So I'm going to leave that for now rather than risk mucking around and moving it. Let that fully set, and then next week I'll come down with the MIG welder. The other thing I want to do is get that false floor back in. I don't really want the MIG welder sitting down next to the stream down here, which is still flowing like crazy. It's a bit of a worry, to be honest, but yeah, so I'll get that false floor. So I think I'll tidy up the false floors the next thing, and because I want to get a bit of paint on that, get that down, and then next week I can drop the MIG welder down on the false floor and weld them in, and then hopefully next weekend backfill them with concrete as well. And then after that I'm going to cover it all up and get stuck into digging, and I'm actually going to just dig it all the way out to the top, and then do the rest of the wall sort of in bigger sections. So it's proven to be shut that up. It's proven to be quite stable. Although there's a lot of water coming down in the bottom here, it's actually up the top here. It's actually very dry, so very stable. I've had pretty much not had any of this fall down, so I think I'm pretty safe to. And remember, I've got those 1.7 metre lengths of rebar up the top, 20 of those going back into the tunnel direction. So I think I'm going to be pretty safe to excavate it all the way out, and then just get that brickwork in and just push on with that. So some more work I can do up top, so I'm going to head up there now. Guys, here's the paint I'm going to use. I gotta be honest, that's not my favourite colour, not by any means, but this paint has a couple or 3 for my money. It has 3 distinct advantages. Number 1, it smells like aniseed, which is nice. Number 2, it's paving paint, so it's relatively non-slip. But most importantly, it was free, so I saved this from the skip. And yeah, so occasionally I do the bit of the old budget. Put the budget into Lexi's budget bunker build. So, and the way I look at it, I mean, it'll seal the wood, and yeah, later on when the project's a bit further along, I can always repaint it if I get that sick of the colour. But in the meantime, it's a layer of sealing. It'll be easier to keep clean, hopefully. And yeah. Hi guys, so yeah, we're been sidetracked a little bit. I was working away up here and I heard the pump start and it didn't sound quite right. It was kind of making a buzzing noise rather than the usual pumping noise, and I checked and sure enough it wasn't pumping. Not sure why. I think it might have got some air in the line maybe and it couldn't prime itself. Like I cleaned all the lines and got it running again, and it seems to be running now. But of course now I'm really uneasy because quite a bit of water had built up again quite quickly. So if that happens while I'm at work or overnight, I'm going to come back to a spa pool again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy up the piping. It's more of a temporary thing, but I'm going to tidy it up, get rid of some of the joins. So at the moment I've got a join on the outlet. So I've made this up. I'm going to put a single piece of hose on here which will go down to the pump. At the moment it's two pieces with a join, and this will connect onto the copper pipe, and then I'm going to replace the pickup, which is two pieces of pipe at the moment with a joiner. So I'm going to put a single piece of hose on there, and hopefully that'll sort that problem out. And moving forward, I mean, I always intended to do this. I bought myself a decent pump. So this is a 240 volt submersible pump. I think this is quite similar to what Dale's using in Backyard Bunker Builders. It's got this float thing. So I'll probably have to dig a deeper hole for it to sit in, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. It's got a decent sized lead, which will run up out of the bunker. And apparently this can pump water. It can pump dirty water with particles suspended in it up to 30 millimeters in size, which is huge, guys. 30 mil. Geez, tape measure. 30 mil. So that's, it's big. I'm struggling to be honest, I'm struggling to believe it'll actually do that, quite that big, but that's what it says on the packet, and it pumps up to 10 meters up. So, yeah, 10 meters max. Obviously, the flow rate drops down as you go higher. Looks like it drops at 7 meters, it drops to 6,200 litres per hour, but honestly it's going to be heaps, plenty. Yeah, so the idea is I'll get that wired in permanently, and that'll be the number one pump, and then the 12 volt system will be there in the event of a power cut, and if the water comes up over everything, then past this, then that one will kick in and maintain. Probably eventually going to have two 12 volt. I think I'll go for two 12 volt pumps on separate systems, so it's sort of a backup there. So this is the outlet pipe. You can see it's huge, so you can go to different sizes. That looks like the smallest, which is what's that inside? It's about roughly 3/4 of an inch, 19 mil. 90 mil inside, and what's the outside? So it's about 24 outside. So I'm going to have to get some. Obviously, a garden hose isn't going to do that job. So I'm going to have to get some decent pipe. what I'm going to actually do is get proper drainage pipe, like, you know, the rigid stuff, and fit that all in, and then there'll be a flexible piece coming from, yes, yeah, it goes on there. A flexible piece will go from there up to that, and Bob's your uncle. So that's going to take a bit of work to install that, to get that set up. So in the meantime, I've got to keep the little pump going. So anyway, better crack on, guys. So that's where we're at. Alright, I'm pretty pleased with that. That's over 1 inch on there, which is much better than what I've got the existing pipe. Okay guys, you can see this joint, it's come up really nicely. It's nice and firm. Good old hose clip on there. There's no air getting through there. You hear the pump's just kicked into life, and that's sounding good again. Before it was sort of, you know, it just didn't sound right, and I think it's because it's sucking through air. And so the hose comes down here. You see I've got this massive big light set up here. That's sort of a temporary thing, but it's great when I'm working down here. And so I've secured it up against the wall, hose clip there. I think it's just condensation there. I don't think it's leaking. When I heated that joint up in hot water, put the hose clip on there, it seemed a really tight fit. And I got a same deal here, and just a single piece of pipe. So I had a join on this piece, and I also had a join on this piece before, and they're just those hose joiners, and I think they're okay when they got pressure, but I think when the pump goes off, the water starts drawing down, it starts sucking air into them, and then of course when the pump tries to go again, it's struggling because it's full of air. So anyway, hopefully it's got that sorted. All looks good down here. Oh yeah, didn't really intend on spending all that time on that, but there you go. That's bunker life for you. No matter what you plan to do, it never quite works out. So anyway, these bricks, because I've got those in, just got to let that no nail stuff set properly. So I'm not gonna do what I'm tempted to do, and that's try and do any more work on there. I'm just going to let that set, so that'll have a week to set now, or I may do a bit during the week, during my working week, but at least it'll have about 48 hours to set nice and solid. So I'm going to measure up. I'm just going to measure up these now, what I need for the side pieces of rebar, get them cut, and next week of course I can put that false floor back in, and then I can get my MIG welder down here. So hopefully everything going to plan. I'll get a bit more done next weekend, and I'm also going to start. I've just worked out how much pipe I need for the for that new water pump. So it's quite a bit, but yeah, worked out what pipe I need and what fittings, and so yeah, next weekend or during the week I'll be getting a start on that as well. Well guys, that's another week. Didn't really get much done today because I got bailed up with that pump, but I've got to be thankful that decided to stop working while I was down in the shaft, which meant that I could fix it, because if it happened during the week I would have ended up with another metre of water to contend with. So yeah, quite pleased about that really. Gotta be grateful, you know, when you get a Feels like a loss, but it's actually a win. So I'm counting that as a win. So anyway, you can hear the pump going now. It sounds quite good. It sounds like it's really made a difference, actually, getting rid of those stupid joints. They were obviously leaking, and just sounds a lot smoother now. So yeah, so next week I'll be probably concentrating on getting that new pump in, because it's a stream down there now, guys. It's just a constant flow of water. So I've obviously with my excavations, I've tapped into an underground stream, and it's just been raining and raining and raining. It's just been ridiculous. So it's not going to stop anytime soon. So I think next weekend I need to get back onto the pump. If I'm honest, I'm absolutely sick of trying to sort out the water problems, but it just goes with the territory. So anyway, I'm hoping that this new pump will be the be-all and end-all. We'll see. I've said that before. I keep thinking I've got it sorted, and turns out I haven't. But anyway, so yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully next week get a bit more done. Certainly get that pump in, and yeah, hopefully get a little bit done to the wall as well. But we'll see how we go for time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and thank you to everybody that subscribed and liked my videos, and a huge shout out to my YouTube members. Remember, guys, if you want to support me in just a small way, you get it out. YouTube memberships. I set it as low as I can, which I think it's $1 New Zealand per month, which is, if you equated that into pence, it would probably be about 40 pence a week, I would imagine, a month, I would imagine. Yeah, about 40 pence a month. No, and then it'd be less than $1 US and less than $1 Australian a month, because the exchange rate. So yeah, it's really appreciated. Those that you know, it all adds up, all makes a difference. So yeah, feel free to do that. If not, just keep watching, and I appreciate the fact that you're watching my videos. And a big shout out to my Patreons. You guys have been so supportive. Just really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, really, as I say, humbled. I'm humbled by it. And also the super thanks. Yeah, I can't forget those. Yeah, thanks guys that do those super thanks. It's like a real surprise when I go into my comments and it's a super thanks. So really appreciate that. And yeah, really do. So anyway, I'm rambling again. So have a great week, guys. Look after yourselves out there. It's a crazy world out there at the moment. And yeah, catch up next week. And that's Lex out.